Alright, so these are the dressers I bought like a week or two ago, and I was going to just flip them as is for 150 bucks when they were white with a pink top, all scratched up. I decided to redo them with the dark blue and the white, and I fixed up the handles and all that. Anyway, I have them listed locally for $325. They've been up for a week. I've had a few people ask about them and some really low offers, but finally someone's coming by to check them out today. They never mentioned price, so hopefully they'll buy them for as much as possible. I don't quite expect to get the $325. It'd be awesome, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. I imagine they'll probably end up going for like $250 or something like that, but we'll see. Well, the lady decided not to buy the dresser. She showed up in her SUV. Her husband followed in a truck, so they had plenty of vehicle space to bring them home. So I was really hopeful when they showed up. And she come looked at them. She said she liked them, but she didn't know if they would fit their adult clothes. So I don't know what that meant. I guess she thought maybe they were smaller, like a kid size or something, but they look like any other dresser I've ever had before. So I'm thinking maybe it was kind of her reason she come up with to not have to buy them. Maybe there was something about it, or she didn't think it was worth the money, so she wanted to be nice about it. So she said, let me think about it. Well, I know what a let me think about it means. That is a no. I use it all the time too, and you're just trying to be nice. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I like that. Let me think about it, and then you never do. So that's all right. I still got them listed. I knew $325 would be high and it would take a while for them to sell, but I have so much time and effort into them, and I really want to make it worth my time on the flip. So they will eventually sell. It's just going to take a while. I did have a couple of eBay sales. First one here is this right here. The brand is, it's either Coleco or Coleco, C-O-L-E-C-O. The game is called Zap. All right, it's a very primitive electronic game from, I think, the late 70s. You put a 9-volt battery in there, you turn it on, it has these little dots in the snake-shaped thing, and they light up. When you zap it, it shoots it over to this side. Before it gets at the very last dot, kind of like a goal or whatever, they zap it back, and you just go back and forth, kind of like playing tennis, okay? And it just gets faster and faster, and it's really difficult. I tried it out when I bought it, and man, this game is actually pretty tough. So I bought this at a garage sale last fall. I paid $2 for it. I also bought these two games, Comp 4 and this one called Blip, the digital game. I thought they all had this really cool retro look to them, so they'd just be cool as a display. But when I got it at the garage sale, the guy was sitting there talking to me the whole time about them, and I didn't want to get out my phone right in front of him and look them up. So I just did a blind buy, and I paid $2. It ended up not being worth that much money. They were selling for like $13.95 up to maybe almost $20 or so with free shipping, so it's really only like a $10 game or so. And I decided to list it at $17.95 with free shipping, and it took a while. It took several months, but I finally got, a best offer of $16 overnight, so I decided to go ahead and take that. So after it sells and all that, again, I'll probably end up making about $9-10, which is what I thought it was actually worth. So not the best find. I'd probably pass on these from now on, but I thought it was kind of cool. These two, I paid $2 and $3 each for them, and I don't think they're worth any more money than this one went either, so oh well. Also, I had another sale, okay? This is pretty cool. This is a tie I got at a garage sale. And what's interesting about this one is it is brand new with tags, and the brand is Vineyard Vines. You definitely want to look for that brand. That is a really nice brand. I didn't know it at the time when I found it, but after I did more research, I learned Vineyard Vines is great. Okay, now what's cool about this one is it is specific to Missouri, which is where I live. It has the state of Missouri on there. It says Show Me, because we're the Show Me state. It even says there, Show Me State. Okay, so it was only 50 cents at this yard sale. I bought another tie, which I showed a few videos back, that was from a natural history museum, I think in Chicago or something. And it had a bunch of, it was a pattern, but it was the planet Saturn. It was kind of a vintage tie. So I bought them both each for 50 cents. That last one sold for somewhere between $15 and $20. This one, I basically named my price on it. So I put it at $29.95 with free shipping. It took a while, but it did sell for full asking price. So I turned 50 cents into $29.95. That was awesome. That same garage sale is where I found a Filson company bag, real big duffel bag. It was free sitting on the ground. I asked the lady, are you sure this is free? Yeah, it's free. Go ahead and take it. It was a little bit dirty. I brought it home, and I was blown away by what these bags go for. Long story short, I'll put it in another video sometime, but it sold for $295. So that was a really, really good garage sale that day. Okay, so that was it for sales so far this weekend, but let me show you a couple of finds I picked up. Well, I tried to do a little garage selling this weekend, but the weather's absolutely, it took a dive compared to last week. Last week it was almost 60. This week it's probably in the upper 30s. It's snowing today. It was raining and all that, so just really nasty. But there was 2 garage sales I was able to hit up. One was in this big like warehouse building that I think the people bought it and were trying to sell the stuff out of it. It was all pure junk. It was like cardboard boxes full of old, like junky Tupperware lids that were cracked and broken mirrors and pianos missing keys and just total junk. And their prices were outrageous. They had this wooden desk that was all beat up. I mean, it was really big, but it was really beat up. And they were trying to get $1,200 for it. So I can't imagine they're selling very much there. When I was there, I was walking around. It was a real big place. They were up by the front door. When I got to the back, I found one thing that I thought would be pretty good. It was kind of the precursor to the Sony Walkman. It was the Sony Cassette recorder or something like that. Basically, imagine one of these, but from the 70s, so it was even bigger and square, real retro, chunky looking thing. And I got pumped. I thought, oh man, this is cool. It's still in the box. It had the wrapper from the inside on it, so I was able to look at it, and it was in really good condition. And I thought maybe this thing's worth, 50, 60 bucks, something like that. But when I looked into it, it was really only like 15 to 25. So I was like, I don't know, I might grab it. And then I heard, that's not for sale. I was like, oh, okay, I find the one thing and it's not for sale. So I walk around a little more. I get up to right about where these people are standing. I find one more thing. It was in a box. Don't even remember what it was for now, but it was worth looking at anyway. And the lady said, that's not for sale. So I just left. I thought, if you people are trying to sell junk and then the other stuff that's half decent is outrageously priced, or the stuff that looks good is not for sale, then I'm not going to buy anything from you. So I left there. I went to the rummage sale that I went to last week where I bought the singing lobster and the puzzles. I wanted to see if this lady had more stuff. She said she's going to have this sale every weekend this month while she still had the lease on the building, and she's going to add new things. And I did find one thing which ends up being pretty good. It's this right here, this watch. This is a Casio F28W. This is their Casio's bare bones digital watch. I think from research it only shows the time and the month, date, and year or something like that. But it's only the time and the date. It doesn't do anything else. There's no alarms. There's no clocks. There are no timers. There's no beeping sounds. Nothing. Just bare bones. But people love this watch for whatever reason. I guess it reminds them of their childhood when they got their first watch at 8 years old. It's a little cheap plastic wristband. They said they crack, so they replace them with like military Navy SEAL type straps, and they customize them and all this kind of stuff. But it was brand new in the package. They did, the little bit of research I did, they made them up to a couple years ago, and they were in the more modern watch package, the ones that have that oval shaped thing and the watch is wrapped around it and it has a cardboard sleeve that fits over it. Whereas this style just hung probably in like a Kmart or a Walmart or whatever, just a little simple clamshell thing or whatever you call it. It even had a tag on there that took off. It was originally $11.99, but it was all messed up, so I just took it off. But so it was only $12 when it was new. The packaging just, to me, looks like it was probably from the 90s. I think they started making them in the 80s, so they made them for a long time. But anyway, when I looked these up on eBay, the ones for sale were all used. None of them were in the package. And I was surprised at the price. Some of them didn't even have straps. They were going for $10, $15. There was some going for $25, $30. There was one that was at $36.99. And these are ones that sold for these prices. So anyway, it was at $5. I asked her if she could do better. She gave it to me for $3, so I took it. Okay. So my thinking was, this is new. It's vintage. It's got to be at least 20, 25 years old. And it's still sought after. They don't make them anymore. People want them. You can't find them new condition like this. So if someone for a used one is getting 30, 35 bucks, maybe I could get 50 or 70. Maybe that's crazy. So I did a little asking around and got advice. And some people told me to list it for $100 with best offer, or even $199 with best offer. So I don't know. I didn't feel comfortable doing it at $199 since it's only a $12 watch, and they made them a few years ago. Of course, it's not this vintage. So I put it at $124.95 free shipping. I also put a best offer down low enough that I probably will get an offer. So we'll see what happens. Maybe this ended up being a really, really good find there. So when I left, I went to Salvation Army, and I found a couple of things. The first one here is one of those items I said I would never buy again, but I did. This is a Texas Instruments calculator. It's the BA2 Plus. This is a financial business calculator like you'd use in business class in college. I've sold probably 4 or 5 of these now, so this is just another one I found. Most of the time when I got them, they were like $1 or less. This one had no price. When I asked, they said $2. I decided to get it. The reason I said I wouldn't buy any more is because they were selling for, you know, $16.99, $17.99, and I'm trying to sell things that are worth more money than that. So at $2, I didn't know if it'd be worth it, but I looked them up, and there were some that were selling for about $23.99. So I decided to list it there. I put it at $23.99, free shipping, just like others that were selling, and we'll see what happens. So hopefully I can get a decent return out of that. It's so easy to send out. That's why I did buy it. You just throw it in a bubble mailer, and it's like $3 or less to send out. So they're really, really easy to send out. Plus, you take pictures, you show the front, the back, a little close-up. I mean, there's not much you have to show on them, so that's pretty cool. Okay, also, I found this. This is a Waterman pin. It says Paris, so I was figuring it was pretty nice. It was sitting in the case like this, so it looked pretty legit. So I asked if I could look at it up closer, and then I saw what it was, okay? So this is a Waterman pin. It has gold trim on there. It does say Waterman made in France. I looked them up just real quick just to see what Waterman pins were going for, and I was really surprised. A nice Waterman pin could be $100, $150, $175, $200. I mean, some of them are way up there. But then there's others that are $15, $20, $25, $30. So I didn't know exactly what this one would be. But then when I looked at it up close, I saw it says Kellogg's Frosted Bran. So I thought, oh man, is this like one you sent off for in a, you know, Waterman pen that somehow you got through the cereal box or something like that? So I did a little research. There was one that sold. Apparently it's like a Kellogg's Employee Award pen or something like that. And they're sold for $22.95 plus I think $5.15 shipping. So they basically got about $27, $28, somewhere around there. So I decided to grab it. It was only $1.50, but it was an orange tag, which was half off. I didn't know that. So I only paid 75 cents for it. And I already listed it, and I put it at, I think, $32.95 or $34.95 with free shipping. So that way, it's really lightweight. It'll send out first class. I should make a little more than the last one that sold. But I don't know how long it's going to take. I only found one that sold. But anyway, that was it for the sales and the finds of the week so far. Hopefully some more will happen. It's been another slow week. I think people are a little scared off by the weather, but we'll see what happens. So if I get more sales today or later tomorrow, I will pop them in this video. Well, unfortunately, that was it for sales. I didn't have any more sales Sunday night, and I just sent out the two things I showed you a while ago, and that was it. So I had the dresser did not sell. I didn't have any more local sales, no more on eBay, no one asking or putting in bids or anything like that. So this was definitely the slowest, probably lowest performing week I've had since I started. So I know things are going to get better though. The garage sale season is just about to really start popping again, and I know I can find a lot of good stuff there really cheap, and a bunch of local sales too. I really like selling local sales because there's no shipping. You can actually make more money off of lower prices, and you know, all that kind of stuff. You don't have to deal with eBay fees and all that. So I know those will be coming around here pretty soon, so hopefully start picking up. So anyway, if you like these videos, go ahead, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment what you think, and it'd be really, really awesome if you could subscribe since I'm trying to grow the channel. So thanks for checking it out.